Hey guys, welcome back into the channel and welcome to the 39th annual SummerSlam preview and predictions. This is Webby, and I want you all to remember that while I'm going through this review, that this is the 39th annual SummerSlam this Saturday and Sunday. 39 years of SummerSlam. WWE's biggest party of summer, WWE's so-called second biggest show of the year. Not in my eyes, but in their eyes. Their biggest show of the year, their second, so on and so forth. They're in Minneapolis, Minnesota, so you know they're going to make it huge for Chad Gable and Brock Lesnar, and all this different types of Billy Jack bullcrap. Okay, but it's their 39th annual SummerSlam. And I'm making this preview and predictions after Raw. Okay, so one of the matches we don't have the final competitor in. Okay, we'll find out on Friday. Most likely it'll be Lash Legend. We know that. But, here's what we do know. Here's what we do know. And I'm getting this match out of the way really quick. For WWE to put on this type of match for the 39th annual SummerSlam, one of the biggest shows of the year, is pretty ridiculous. And creative has some work to do. I don't know what in the world they are doing backstage. Okay? Because money's on a pole matchup where Dominic Mysterio and Danhausen is going to have to go fight for monies is pretty bad. Okay, I'm getting that out of the way right now. Now, I do realize that Dominic Mysterio and Danhausen and the Judgment Day have been going through a bunch of ridiculous segments through Monday Night Raw for a long time, to the point where they had Danhausen going around telling everybody in the arena that they were cursed. They had a Danhausen concert, and he was telling everybody throughout the entire night that they were cursed during that concert. And we saw in one show 5 segments of Danhausen and the Judgment Day. That's the type of stuff they've been building up for this matchup. But, wrestling fans, money's on a pole to hopefully end this rival between the Judgment Day and Danhausen at SummerSlam. I don't know about you all, but pretty ridiculous to me. In which Danhausen will more than likely be victorious. Okay. Now, let's get started with some of the stuff that actually matters, that I got that crap out of the way, that match out of the way, all right? And that is the World Heavyweight title on the line, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. Now, this match kind of wrote itself, all right? It wrote itself throughout the entire 4 to 5 week build that it gave us on Raw and SmackDown, quite frankly, going back and forth, showing highlights, okay? And I was glad that they did that. Okay, you don't need to see each other every single week. You don't need to. Not when you can have promos leading up to it, when you have such a rich history as these two did. whether it was the Shield, whether it was before they came to WWE, whether it was the WrestleMania, whether it was Royal Rumble, whether it was any number of times they faced each other. They didn't show one of the times, which it was the time that it was a triple threat matchup when all three Shield members faced each other. They didn't show that one, but it was a good video package for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for the weeks leading up to SummerSlam. That plus the times they faced each other face to face. I did think they had good segments that way. But, you all let me know what you're thinking about all this stuff in the comments below. And before I go any farther, y'all remember to become a subscriber today. Hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for all notifications. Leave me a comment. Give me a big thumbs up. Go back and check out anything you missed. And follow Backyard Beatdown on TikTok at BYBD45. That's at BYBD45. Now, Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar inside Hell in a Cell. This match, it's one of those, I hope we see blood. I hope we see violence. I hope we see a knockdown, drag out affair. They have built this match up as Brock Lesnar being undefeated in it. They have built this match up as one of the biggest of all time, which honestly, WWE always does that. But when you have built Obafemi up so much as they have been doing, and then you had also put Brock Lesnar in there, and you have Paul Heyman come out, and you talk about violence, and you talk about all the type of stuff that he usually does in it, and then you start having him mention the Undertaker's streak again, and you have him mention Brock Lesnar's undefeated streak in there, and you have him mention about how it's not going, Obafemi's not going to be able to overcome it, so on and so forth. We don't want to go in there and see some PG, G-rated Hell in a Cell matchup at SummerSlam, okay? We don't want to see some weak Hell in a Cell match that's not going to mean jack, all right? Plus, on top, here at Minneapolis, Minnesota, okay? And they're going to hype up the fact that they are at Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they will put that Brock Lesnar is from Minneapolis, Minnesota. And if they do say that, you need to stamp that match and make it where it is wow. So make that match worth it, okay? Just do it. And then, of course, Obafemi will go over 1, 2, and 3, okay? The bigger the match is, the better he will go over. Duh, okay? The last time we saw a great Hell in a Cell matchup, at least for this era, would be Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. Everybody knows that. So if you'll do it with those two, do it with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar. I mean, okay. Intercontinental Champion Penta versus Chad Gable. Since we're talking about Minneapolis, Minnesota, let's do the right thing here. Let's put the IC strap on Chad Gable. He's earned it. He deserves it. Of all the stuff he did with El Grande Americano. Need I say more? Need I say more than he needs to have a payoff and just have an IC title in return. That's it. He does. He needs to be rewarded with becoming the Intercontinental Champion. If he doesn't, that will be a grave disservice. Gunther versus Nick Aldis. Now look, I don't care what anybody says. If you don't think Gunther's fallen off the wagon since the Royal Rumble, I don't know what you're watching. He has fallen off the wagon. Has he become one of those wrestlers that is a good hand, that can go in there and work with anybody, that can elevate a matchup, yada, yada, yada? Yes. But has this career killer gimmick fallen off the wagon? Absolutely. And if Nick Aldis goes in there and loses, and if that is supposed to start the build to the career killer gimmick again, forget it. Forget it. It's not going to help that gimmick. Go on to something else, okay? Just go. Have him move on to another feud afterwards. All right? Just do that. Also, probably, since we're talking about the career killer and Gunther, it probably didn't help much that Gunther didn't end up facing Brock Lesnar. And we continued the feud with Oba and Brock Lesnar. Okay? Which, honestly, I'm glad that they did. But that's just my opinion when it comes to that. Io Sky versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World title. There's not much to talk about here. Io Sky is going to take that title off of Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. Okay? If they don't, I do not know what WWE is doing. Because Liv Morgan has not defended that title since she gained it at WrestleMania. She's not defended it once. Not one time. So if Io Sky loses, start defending your title. If you've defended it at house shows, okay. Televised events, we haven't seen squat. Except you running out and talking or getting beat up or something like that. Okay? We haven't. But by what happened tonight, WWE Wrestling 101, and I am putting this up on Monday. So what happened tonight on Raw, by what happened, Liv Morgan's losing. If you go by how WWE usually does stuff. You all let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk. We do not need Cody Rhodes to be the WWE champion for the 4th time. We do not need Cody Rhodes to be the champion for a very long time. CM Punk just captured the title. CM Punk, who we should all be very happy that he is back. It has added an extra layer to SmackDown. It's made it more interesting than it was. Before without him. definitely needs to hold on to that title. It would make no sense whatsoever to put the title on him and then lose it, a month? Less than a month? Back to Cody Rhodes? I don't care. And I know a lot of you don't care. If it was supposed to be Cody Rhodes to beat Sami Zayn in the first place. I don't. We all know that putting the title on Cody Rhodes, when Cody Rhodes goes out there and is just acting vanilla. His character is vanilla. It is boring. We all know that Cody Rhodes, being the champion, the way he is now, the same way he's been ever since he came into the WWE, is a huge mistake. It would be like putting the title on Cody. It would be like putting the title on Roman Reigns when he was the big dog over and over and over and over and over again. Shoving him down our throats. That is the way it is starting to become. You do not want to do that to us. It will eventually get us to turn on Cody Rhodes. Don't want to do it. So CM Punk, go over at SummerSlam. An interim women's ladder matchup a ladder matchup to determine who is the women's champion. Excuse me for that. Look, do you all really care about that match? I don't really. Because thing is, we're just waiting for Rhea Ripley to return. That's it. So I really don't care about that interim women's champion ladder matchup. I don't. And really, you shouldn't either. Because when Rhea Ripley returns, we'll find out who the real women's champion is, and then either Io Sky or Liv Morgan will face them at Night of what is it? Well, it's not Night of Champions. Whatever that pay-per-view is, where it's champion versus champion. That's the one that they'll face each other at. Anyway, wrestling fans, United States champion Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin. Now, honestly, I think Baron Corbin going over here would be pretty cool. Is it going to happen? No. Trick Williams more than likely will be victorious in this matchup. I mean, he just will. Does anybody really care, though, too much about this? About Trick Williams being victorious and Baron Corbin losing? Probably not. It's just a very good undercard matchup. And Baron Corbin will do a good job helping put over Trick Williams. I think that's one of the reasons why he's there. LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and the Usos. Yeah, okay. LA Knight's been embroiled in this bloodline drama, it feels like since he came into the WWE. And are you all tired of it? I know I am. So, hey, look, LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys are going to lose at SummerSlam. We all know it. We all know it. Danhausen versus Dominic Mysterio, and Human Money's on a pole. Do I need to go over this again? Of course not. Sami Zayn versus Finn Balor. WWE number one contenders matchup. I'm going to say this. Sami Zayn has been through the grinder when it comes to the WWE title. He just has. He's gotten number one contenders. He's been the number one contender. He's been the WWE champion. He's lost the title on Raw when he's a SmackDown superstar. He's done all these different types of things. And WWE, instead of granting him a world title matchup, where he rightfully deserves it, is telling him, no, you have to earn it again. When Cody Rhodes goes out there and says, hey, I'm your friend. We hate each other. We love each other. Blah, blah, blah. We love each other. We hate each other, but we love each other. It's one of those hate-friend relationships. But I don't like you. Blah, 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 blah. So let's have a match. And we're going to have this matchup because, let's just face it, we can't sell tickets. That's why we're having this matchup, and that's why they're $25 a ticket starting. So Sami Zayn doesn't get a main event spot, and he has to earn himself a title shot. Kind of ridiculous for Sami Zayn. But I'm glad he gets a good matchup. I'm glad he's facing Finn Balor. And more than likely, he will go over here. He will beat Finn Balor on Saturday. He will pin him 1, 2, 3 somehow. And then he'll end up losing. Okay. I just hope it's not on some random SmackDown. And I hope it's on SmackDown, not Raw. Okay? Let's make it where the brand split actually means something. Okay? So let's make it where he gets his title shot at a pay-per-view and he stays on SmackDown. And is the Bella Twins and Paige versus Fatal Influence in a 6-woman tag team match worth talking about too much? For me, not too much. I know for you all, the biggest thing that will come out of that is Paige will get beat up by the Bella Twins. More than likely. Because Paige is done for when the Bella Twins reunite again. Because Nikki has returned. And let's face it, the majority of the time that the Bellas have been on TV, they have not been baby faces. So the Bella Twins are going to turn on Paige. And let's face it, the only reason why they were a tag team, Paige and Brie, was because Nikki was injured. Okay? So Fatal Influence I see winning the 6-woman tag team matchup at SummerSlam. And that's the pay-per-view, guys. They might throw in the women's Intercontinental title matchup, something along those lines, or a women's United States title match, something like that. Sol Ruka did just lose her IC title, okay? She did just lose it, so they might throw something in like that. Or they might throw in Division versus Alpha Academy. WWE wants to do something like that, even though Alpha Academy lost on Raw. WWE really doesn't give a crap about that. Bruce Pritchard has went on record and said that wins and losses don't mean anything. He said that a long time ago. So, if that's the case, and if they still believe that in WWE, we could very well see Alpha Academy wrestling fans versus the Vision for the World Tag Team titles. Don't be surprised. But anyway, I'm getting out of here, all right? Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to leave me a big thumbs up, a comment. Don't forget to follow Backyard Beatdown over on TikTok at BYBD45. It is appreciated, wrestling fans. And of course, until I see you again, this is Webby. I will catch all of you on the other side. Talk to you later.